Hey, what's up, studs? It's me, Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and today I'm going to be counting down the top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that I do not own, but still want. Of course, there have been hundreds of LEGO Star Wars sets over the years, and I've been fortunate enough to own, I would say, most of them. I probably own at least like 60 or 70% of all the sets ever released, but that's just kind of a shot in the dark guess there. Anyway, there are definitely sets that I still want, though, that have come out. I have not been able to get everything I've ever wanted, and I'm sure that's something that everyone goes through. You'll never have everything you ever want. That's just the way it is, and this is just kind of a want list for basically the next few years for me. These are the 10 sets that I want the most that have been out in previous years and I have not yet been able to pick up. This does not include any future sets coming out. This is only solely based on past LEGO Star Wars sets. Let me know in the comment section down below what LEGO Star Wars set you don't own but still want the most. Anyway, let's start with number 10. It's the 8037 Clone Wars Y-Wing Starfighter. This is actually a set that I did previously own. I had it back in the day when it came out, I think around 2009, and I ended up selling it maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, which is pretty crazy to think about, but this is definitely one that I want back. Since I sold that set, I think the Y-Wing has slowly become my favorite and most loved design in Star Wars, so I really want that set back on my shelf. And the Clone Wars style is very sleek with the all yellow and white color scheme going on. Very clean look to it. The Ahsoka, Anakin, and R2-D2 minifigures aren't bad either, but I'm really in it for the ship. At number 9 on the list, we have the 7662 MTT. This is another set that I did previously own. I had it back in 2007 when it came out, and I sold it once again maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it's one of the sets that I regret the most of selling, the MTT here. I don't know why I sold it. I think I'm stupid for selling it, but I did, and I think it's just the best MTT ever made. It simply is. The other two MTTs just do not compare to this set. They are smaller, less detailed, less minifigures. This set is just an absolute monster in every single way. So many cool features and details, and it's definitely the best MTT. Definitely one I wish I had on my shelf, and definitely one I can't wait to get back at some point in the future. Going on down to number 8, we have the 4501 Mos Eisley Cantina set from the early 2000s. This is a set that I've never owned, but I do want it to complete my Mos Eisley Cantina collection, as I do have the versions from 2014 and 2018. They are both very nice models, but this one definitely has that classic feel to it, especially when you have the yellow minifigures in there from 2003, 2004, Han Solo and Greedo especially very cool in these sets. And let's not forget that classic dewback with the Stormtrooper on top. There's just something very cool about the very simple design of the original dewback compared to the one from 2014. Not saying that this one's particularly better, but it wins the nostalgia game. I've been very close to buying it sealed in the last few months. Every time eBay has a coupon, this is one that I'm looking at, but I just have not been able to pull that trigger. At number 7 on the list, we have the 7264 Imperial Inspection Set. This is from 2005, and this is one that I've also wanted for a long time. Probably the main reason I haven't bought it is because LEGO did recently come out with a new regular system scale Imperial Shuttle, and that probably held me off on this one for a while, but I think I'm going to find myself buying this one within the next year or so. It's just got the coolest minifigures. I feel like the minifigure selection in this set is impeccable for $50. You get 4 Stormtroopers, a couple of Imperial officers, a couple of Royal Guards, Darth Vader, and Palpatine. Like, that's crazy for $50, and the Stormtroopers have printed legs, which is awesome. This set also hits on the nostalgia with the old LEGO Star Wars blaster styles, so you really can't go wrong with this set. The design of the set might not be the best by today's standards, but it still has that nostalgic feel for me once again. Anyway, this is a rather expensive set nowadays, especially if you do want to get it sealed, so I'd probably end up getting it used, but still, it's definitely one I do want to pick up. I actually have a pretty cool story about this that I do remember from back in the day. I want to say this happened in 2007 or 2008 after this set had been retired, but I was on ToysRUs.com and I came across this set available for sale on their website. This is after it was retired, that's why I remember this. I just don't remember exactly what year. And it was for sale for retail price, and I was like, oh my god, I have to buy this. And remember, this is 2008, 2007, so I'm 10, 11 years old. I don't have a credit or debit card to use. My parents are at work, so unfortunately I was not able to order this before it once again sold out, and that's why I don't have my collection today. That's the closest I ever came to buying this. Next on the list, we have the 75005 Rancor Pit from 2013. Just another set that I kind of put off when it was available. I passed on it a few times when it was on sale or on clearance, and I just ended up never getting it, and here we are today 5 years after its release, and I still don't have it. It's the only set to ever have come with a Rancor, so I don't know why I don't have it. It would go well with my Jabba's Palace set sitting up there on the shelf again, so I think it's just a set that, again, given time, I will pick up. It's a very cool set. The Rancor is awesome. Luke Skywalker minifigure in there is pretty cool as well. And then, of course, you get a couple other figs. The set design, though, isn't the best. Like, it's not a very displayable set. Maybe that's the main reason I don't have it yet, but it's number 6 on the list for sets I want. At number 5 on the list for sets that I want, being a huge Clone Army collector, I'm baffled now that I'm thinking about why I don't have this set. It's the 7674 V19 Torrent. It's a cool one, and it's the only one to ever have been the V19 Torrent. They've never released it in any other form, I guess other than the mini version in 2008 as well, but they've never released another full-size version of this set. So totally thought it was going to happen this summer, and I almost bought this set just because of that, so that I would have both, and then it didn't happen. So I was like, oh, but maybe if it happens next year, I'll totally go back and get this one. This is just another one that I've been putting off for a while, and eventually I'll get around to, just not quite yet. These next 4 are some of the best LEGO Star Wars sets, most nostalgic LEGO Star Wars sets, I should say, ever. And the first being at number 4 on the list is 7163 Republic Gunship. While the design of the gunship isn't quite the best, because definitely the Clone Wars and the 2013 Episode 2 versions of this set were better, I think. The Droideka, the Clone Troopers, and the Super Battle Droids, and of course Jedi Bob are incredible. I think it has the best slew of minifigures out of any Republic gunship. I just love that you get 4 Clone Troopers in a set like this. And the blue Super Battle Droids, while not the color that LEGO has stuck with, make for a cool figure because they are pretty much exclusive to this set. Like, you don't see them elsewhere, which is great. So getting those blue Super Battle Droids is a huge up for this set, and they're something that I don't currently own in my collection, so I definitely need to get this set to have them. Anyway, it's a cool set, just the design of it isn't quite up to today's standards, but I definitely need it as a big Clone Army collector, as I said prior to the V19 Torrent. That's what I have to say about the Republic Gunship. At number 3, we have the 4483 AT-AT. This is the coolest AT-AT in my opinion. It's definitely the biggest AT-AT LEGO ever made. All the other ones have been slightly smaller, albeit maybe slightly better designed, but something about this set just really calls to me, and for some reason I've always wanted it. It's just another set that for some reason I never bought, even though right now I'm buying a bunch of old LEGO sets. This one just hasn't made its way into my house. My best memory of this one was back around Christmas 2004 or 2005. I think I was in Toys R Us, and remember, this is 2004 and 2005, so I'm like 7 or 8 years old, and I'm rather short. So I remember in my memory this box being very, very big, because I was very small when I saw the box. And so, like, in my memory, the box was like, you know, at least half my size, you know? This thing was huge. It was right on eye level on the bottom shelf for me when I was younger. And then when I saw the box again, or like when I kind of realized, you know, 5-10 years later how big the box actually is compared to how big an actual human is and not 7 or 8 year old me, then I was like, oh yeah, that's funny. so yeah, boxes aren't as big as you think they are as you grow older, and then eventually they kind of all conform to the same size standards. Anyway, let's move on to number 2. It's the 10134 UCS Y-Wing. Like I said earlier, the Y-Wing totally has become one of my favorite Star Wars ship designs, and LEGO models are no exception. This blast from the past features one minifigure being like an R4 unit, so that's not too exciting, but the actual model itself just has this classic UCS vibe to it that I really like. I kind of like the color scheme a little bit better than the one on the newer UCS Y-Wing, so I would love to have them both just side by side to compare and have in the collection. So this is definitely one I do want to get at some point in the future, but it is rather expensive. I think like at the bottom of the barrel you can get it for like $350, $400 used, so totally not one that I'm looking into getting immediately, but definitely when I find the right deal, I'll strike. And the number 1 set that I want, that I do not own from the past, out of all the LEGO Star Wars sets in the world that have been released at retail, I've chosen the 10030 Imperial Star Destroyer. This thing just, I don't know why LEGO hasn't remade this yet. I'm expecting them to remake it in 2019. That's just kind of my guess, shot in the dark there for a 2019 UCS set. But I think the Imperial Star Destroyer would be an amazing set to have in my collection. I'm really missing it right now. I think it's one of the coolest LEGO Star Wars sets ever, obviously, being as it's one of the ones that I want the most. It's just really expensive right now, and I'm like, I can't do that. So I have to wait for a really good deal to come along, or I could just win the lottery and then I can buy all of them anyway. But yes, the Imperial Star Destroyer, definitely the set from the past that I want the most right now, although it might not be the set on the list that I get first, obviously, because of its price barrier to entry there, you know, usually $700-800 used, so very, very expensive set there. And when it was released, I just couldn't afford it, obviously, being younger. And that is my list of the top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that I want right now that have been released, not future releases. So anyway, if you guys have a favorite LEGO Star Wars set that you do not own, that you really, really want, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious if you guys agree with my list, if you don't have the Star Destroyer, or if you're really wanting something else, like maybe the UCS Millennium Falcon. But let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.